Hello, I'm James. This is October, and that means tonight's game is going to be World of Horror. Let's begin. Let's go with 2-bit color. Randomize it. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah. Got a bit of a delay between the machine I'm playing this on and the one I'm streaming on, as usual. And let's continue. I have played before, so let's try... Let's customize. One of the core ideas behind World of Horror is modularity, allowing you to mix and match various card packs with different content. Simply select card packs you want to be included, and continue by pressing the arrow on the bottom. Yep, let's do everything I've got unlocked. One last thing. A tall man left a suitcase for you this morning. He said you will know the password. I wonder, what could that mean? Let's randomize. CHBAE. City of Shiokawa, Japan. 1980X. Something strange is happening in our town. Robed figures can be seen gathering in the woods at night. People are going missing. Disgusting creatures are terrorizing the seaside. The rapid technological progress of the modern era brings comfort, but also new unknown threats. Old gods, malicious eldritch beings who ruled the earth long ago, eons ago, are awakening as reality starts to crumble. Armed with clues, spells, and your dwindling sanity, you'll investigate mysteries across the city, and in realms beyond. An old train slows down and stops at its last station. The end of the world is at hand, and you've finally arrived in the doomed town. Okay. First character. Kirie Minami. Age 20. Female. Could the ghosts following her be in any way connected with all the weird events happening in this town? Good at knowledge, bad at strength, starts with one random spell. For backstory, World of Horror. At the beginning, no one had any idea what we were up against. Medical history. Brittle bones run in your family, and you've spent each summer in a cast. Hunted by the cult. You've managed to run from them once, but the cult is tireless. The 7th curse. Your family was cursed. Everyone around you will die. Ill-fated. You were born under a bad moon. Let's go with Hunted by the Cult. Item statistics randomization off. The game will only draw generic and character-exclusive perks. Okay, and we are at Okay, it's been a while, so to get me back into the swing of things, we'll start at Skeptic. Classic mode. Old gods are awakening. Your only chance of survival is solving 5 different mysteries. The end of the world is at hand. Scenario mode. Short adventures set during the events of a classic mode, coming in the future. Endless mode. It's hopeless. You can't stop the old gods. In this mode, there are no mysteries to solve. Earn points by surviving an endless stream of encounters. Let's go classic. Somewhere, a group of people gathers, trying to awaken their master. Okay, we have unlocked Yuggothag, the irresistible gaze. The nuclear tests in the Pacific region have awakened something evil in the depths of the Mariana Trench. Yuggothag is now slowly emerging, ready to once again rule the coastlines, follow the commands, or suffer its wrath. Cathak Atarasu, the spider god. The terrible spider god Cathak Atarasu is once again awakening from its slumber. Blinded by its impossible-to-satisfy hunger, it has started to tear down the walls of its cocoon prison. Its thing is Eternal Web. You can't run from combat. Ethotu, the Devouring Fire. The supposed cause of destruction of the Library of Alexandria. A perfect black marble statue has been recently discovered and is currently waiting in the museum for its long-awaited premiere. Entropy, both your damage and your enemies, is increased. Arthur Yolost, the Towering Eye. The mad god favors astronomers and magicians, granting them the gift of its power that unknowingly brings Arth-Yolost's bloated body closer to Earth. Cosmic gift. Casting spells costing reason increases doom instead. Goizo, the thing forsaken by God. Vanished to the other dimension a long time ago, Goizo has found a way to use mirrors to ensnare and teleport its prey straight through reflective glass. The glimpses behind your reflections are just the beginning of a real nightmare. Mirror horror. Resting increases doom penalty. I think I'll go with Goizo. Old God's Rule. Resting at home raises doom. Backstory. Haunted by the cult. Character exclusive perk cards only. And let's begin. May 31st, 1984. Welcome to World of Horror. Important messages will appear here. You've learned a new spell, Shadow Shroud. The cult members are on your trail. You've managed to run from them once, but the cult is tireless. Solving mysteries reduces more doom, but you get more unique combat encounters. Okay, what does Shadow Shroud do? For the duration of this mystery, ignore the location's threat level. Costs 3 reason. Not yet. Okay, I have nothing. I know 1 spell. I have no statuses, no allies. The town is doing fine for now. Let's check the lighthouse. The ominous lighthouse has been closed down for longer than you can remember. Multiple padlocks prevent you from entering the building. You need 5 keys. Or 4, since we're on Skeptic. Now, let's head home. The city is changing so fast you can barely recognize it anymore. Choose up to 2 additional actions per location for this playthrough. The item shop, the police station, the occult shop, and the vending machine. Let's swap the police station for the occult shop. Home. Rest and prepare. At school. Let's go with the library and the nurse. At the hospital. Just those 2. Seaside. Swap the monument for the illegal den. Forest, just the witch's tree. Mansion, nothing. Village, nothing. Apartment, neighbor. Let's confirm. Someone has crammed your mailbox full of animal entrails. They know! Back in your home, you think of your next move. You are not currently investigating any weird mystery. Recent newspaper clippings and notes collected in the next room should point you in the right direction. Found a new item in the drawer, library notes, which can give us a random spell at the cost of 1 to 2 reason. You have enough? Let's do that. Multiply wound. Inside the notes, you find a curious passage, -1 reason. Deals damage to an enemy, which increases the lower your stamina is. It costs stamina. Okay, let's watch TV. Some of our readers report a strange tall man dressed in white taking the metro after dark, apparently stalking lone passengers. Please take care and avoid traveling alone. What outfits do we have? You stand before a mirror, wondering which outfit to wear. Transfer girl. Kyrie. Casual shirt. Teen Witch. WZ86. I think I like the Teen Witch. Take a peek through the peephole. You don't see anything weird. We can still do something with library notes. Unearthly suture. Receive 1 free injury removal at a cost of 4 doom. That sounds like a good one. And we can't find anything useful in the notes. You throw them away. Custom mysteries. None found. I don't think I've installed any on this device. Let's start a new mystery. Inexplicable and morbid events have been plaguing your town for some time now. You've marked down 5 of them, hoping that there is something connecting them. You can tackle these 5 mysteries in any order you want. Beware. Your decisions will haunt you and influence yet unsolved mysteries. Okay, we have Bloody Brief of a Beckoning Bulletin. Vicious verses of a violent vigil. Chilling chronicle of a crimson cape. And alarming account of abnormal arms. Let's start with the beckoning bulletin. As the decades roll on, technology has only developed further. These days, computer bulletin board software allows computers to communicate over phone lines. All it takes is a computer and a modem, and anybody can connect to a bulletin system, or even host one of their own. Okay, I know this story, so trigger warning for suicide, if that's something you have to worry about. Many use them to share files or to chat about their favorite topics. Everything from video games to sports to idol culture. But in the wake of a sudden string of weird suicides, things aren't all fun and games. Okay, let's put a note in the chat, just in case anyone shows up. Rumors have surfaced that the deaths are linked to a bulletin system operated from somewhere within Shiokawa. What is behind the suicides? How could so many people all be driven to take their own lives? You've started a new mystery, Bloody Brief of a Beckoning Bulletin. Even if the rumored bulletin system's phone number is found, there is no hope to investigate without a computer that can connect to it. Maybe the school library has one that will work. Okay, and investigate the forest location twice to complete the side quest. Let's do that. Come on. Investigating the stream. It's said that a famous priest died on this rock. Perhaps his mysticism has seeped into it. Let's tap into his power. Knowledge check. Success. Touching it with your hand, you feel a newfound knowledge forming in your mind. Gained a spell. Or, no, we didn't. Ah, there we go. Void. That's a potentially new one. Following a trail of rotten fruit, you stumble on a small forest shrine. It's probably dedicated to some local spirit. The small statue looks alien and menacing. Let's pray. Perception check. Failure. To your horror, you discover a severed human hand behind the statue. -2 reason. After searching deep in the woods for some time, you discover the body of a young student clutching a note. Gained an item. The forest note. I write this for everyone wanting to stay behind. The sacrifice is worth it. Life's meaning comes from our relationships. Share death, and that connection will outlast you. There won't be anything left but us. Everyone here is waiting for you, so if you lose your resolve, just listen to the voice of humanity. Yeah, with that done, let's head to the school. Investigating the gym. You hear a faint sound while walking outside the biology classroom. Inside is an old anatomy model, its heart beating. The sight almost makes you sick. She apparently just got a new system and is willing to let you borrow hers. Thanking her, you arrange to meet at her home in the city. To downtown. Oh, well, the school's library computer doesn't have a modem. I happened to bump into a member of the computer club while asking around. That's what came first. Ugh. Investigating the building. Seeing the two chopped off heads, you can't help but wonder who's been preparing your food for the past week. Let's research those occult notes. Yes, I'm not sure what was supposed to be there. Something happened with my mouse. You lug the cardboard box full of PC parts up your apartment stairs. Teeth clenched as you heave it up one step at a time. God damn, our computer's heavy. Remember, this is set in 1984. In the staircase, you return home to freshen up. When you enter your bathroom, however, you discover that your shower is missing. In its place, there's an old clawfoot tub. The whole thing feels surreal, but you take a step towards it, wondering how this is possible. Let's take a bath. Nothing could possibly go wrong there. Luck check, failure. The water in the bathtub gets murky and dark. Are you bathing in blood? -2 reason. You wipe the sweat from your brow as you finally finish setting up the computer in your bedroom. After a few tests, you're now certain that everything is functional. The newscaster on the TV says that the suicide rate is still climbing. Worse, the morbid trend is beginning to catch on in other nearby towns. You need to act quickly. As you prepare a bath, you think about all the possible leads so far. You're very tired, so maybe ice-cold water is a good idea. Strength check, failure. Your body clearly wasn't prepared for a cold bath, and you can feel the cold coming on. -2 stamina. Hoping to find a lead, you head to the hospital. With how many deaths there have been, the hospital is in chaos. The staff look exhausted. When the receptionist lets her head down onto the desk for a minute, you slip out of the waiting room and into the hospital corridors. Let's investigate the pharmacy. Walking through the hospital corridor, you are stopped by an older man with a cast on his leg. Could you help me go down these stairs? Let's help him. Dexterity check. Success. Takes you some time, but you successfully help the man and bring him a wheelchair. He thanks you and smiles. 10 experience. You overhear two nurses talking about a girl whose suicide attempt failed. Apparently, she's recovering at her grandparents' home at the village in the city outskirts. You exit the hospital and make your way to the nearest bus stop. Okay, while we're here, let's go shopping for items. Let's start with a discounted item, a bottle of milk. Yeah, I can use that. Glug, glug. You found a new item, empty bottle, which is actually pretty useful. And we've got enough doom to spare, we can shop some more. Okay, some dog treats. Always useful. A flashlight. Let's equip that. And let's see if we can't get a weapon of some sort. A blue gem. It feels cold in your hand. Seems important, but what is it? That's all I have the space for right now. Yeah. I have space for 4 spells and 4 items. Let's see about storing the gem. Back here. Steak knife. That's going to be useful. The sharpened edge can slice through the toughest cuts of meat. You can only hope that the red stains are from steak. Yeah, and now we're ready. Let's investigate some more. Investigating a building. Hunted. The cult members are on your trail. You must hurry. 2% doom. As you pull into the village bus stop, a news story comes on the bus driver's radio. An entire class of Shiokawa students leapt in front of a train, hand in hand. You move urgently as you exit the bus and begin searching down the village streets. Your friend returning from a trip to Africa has invited you to dinner. This time they've outdone themselves. This is a real feast, full of exotic meats. It's getting late and you can't stay for long, but the host asks if you want to take anything home with you. That wine is terrific. Of course, I have enough bottles to last a whole year, your friend says, handing you a bottle. Gained an item. Okay. Addictive. Liquid. Gain 3 reason and flip the card. Yeah, we are pretty short on reason. Let's use it. Gained a new status, Hangover. Found a new item. Empty bottle. Let's store one of the bottles, too. Okay, what's Hangover do? -1 to all stats until the end of the current mystery. Not great, but useful. Or worth it anyway. When you find the girl's house, her grandparents greet you solemnly. They thank you for your effort to stop the deaths. Forgive her, her grandfather says as he leads you to her bedroom. She's a kind girl. Something has happened to her. Let's continue investigating the village, investigating the shrine. You've stumbled upon a forgotten bookstore in a small alley. The interior is cluttered with dusty old tomes, animal bones, weird vials, and stuffed exotic animals you don't even recognize. Can I help you? Asks the tiny man behind the counter. I have things that will surely help you in your quest. Okay, let's get... Okay, can't afford a magic item. Sorry, just looking. Take your time and see you soon. The recovering girl is more than happy to not only confirm the bulletin's existence, but to give you its number. You have to do what it tells you. Trust me, you won't regret a thing. She beams at you as her grandmother struggles to make her swallow the pain medication. I'll be back to join you all soon. Wait for me, okay? Disquieted, you give your grandparents your phone number and hastily leave. You had no idea that the funeral you've been invited to would end with the guests slashing their hands to feed the deceased with their blood. You stay at the back, shocked by how grotesque it is. Suddenly, the guests turn their heads in your direction. It's your turn now. As gruesome as it is, it's still a tradition. However, you can't shake the feeling that the deceased smiles slightly as you carefully cut your hand. -1 stamina. As soon as you arrive home, you dial the number and put the handset onto the modem. Your heart pounds as the computer fans exhale. You hear a brief dial tone, and then it finally connects. And now, here we go. Investigate the computer. Welcome home. Did you like it so far? Yes or no? I'm glad. Take your phone off the modem and put it to your ear. You listen to the staticky signal on the other end. It's harsh to your ear, but then the noise begins to slowly change into something beautiful. You want to join it. Fill the combat sequence, white bar, with combat moves and click the launch sequence to attack your enemy. Right-click to delete the last combat move. Okay, let's try... that. Save that sequence. Launch it. You slash together. Missed the attack. Why should you resist? It will all be over soon. Why should you resist? It will all be over soon. Okay, that's not quite working. Let's try this. Come on. Yeah, let's save that and load it. Not good. Let's try this approach then. Can't seem to combine that with defense. Can't seem to include any defenses in this. Okay, so just attack then. Yeah, that did more. Triple aim strong, triple aim normal, save, and launch. Fine, the voices. Defeated together. You wrench the phone from your ear, nearly tossing it across the room. You could have killed yourself for that thing. Sweat pouring down your face, you immediately yank the computer's plug from the socket. In the bulletin's number into phone book, you find the system operator's address. When you enter the cramped apartment, you're met with a smiling, hanged teenager and a still running, unplugged computer. You smash it to pieces. With the root cause gone, the suicides eventually slow. Or you couldn't save those already in its thrall. You're relieved to know the bulletin won't take any more victims. Bloody brief of a beckoning bulletin, ending B. Rewards for solving this mystery. Knowledge is key, 30 experience. Thorough investigation, 15 experience. There's still hope, -5 doom. Tireless, +1 reason and stamina. Time passes, 1 day. The old god stirs. Riots. Dangerous bands of rioters are gathering around the downtown area. The police are hopeless. Inside your mailbox, you find a small key. What is it doing in there? Local dentist has been found guilty of implanting dog teeth on their human patients. Motive is currently unknown. Okay, let's take a bath. The shower will help you calm down and do wonders for your sore muscles. What temperature should you set it to? Let's fill a bottle first. And then we need more reason. So cold water. Demolition of an old inner-city shrine has resulted in an array of unfortunate accidents and, most recently, the death of 6 people suspected of arson. What was that? Probably just my imagination. Okay. Let's take a drink. You've already taken a bath. Okay, let's store both of those bottles. Actually, let's keep one bottle with us. Store the dog treats, though. I only need them when I'm using the shop. Okay, next up we have alarming account of abnormal arms. I remember when it started. The woman next door was strangled to death in her bed, with no sign of forced entry. The killer was never found, and the apartment remained vacant. The door to her apartment was closed, and she lived alone. What other ways in are there? Maybe you can get the apartment plan to compare with other flats. Okay, I don't have any injuries, just low on stamina and reason. You know what? Maybe... no. Yeah, downtown it is. Silent street. Something is wrong. You don't see anyone on the street. You could have sworn it was crowded just a minute ago. You'd better hurry out of here. -1 reason. The apartment is on the 3rd floor. There's no way somebody used the window to escape the murder scene. Let's do the hospital. Got enough experience to level up. Let's do that. You advance to the next experience level. Choose 1 perk and 1 stat upgrade. +1 knowledge, additional damage against ghost and eldritch, or +1 perception. This seems useful. And let's bump reason, since we really need it right now. You enter the hospital looking for information about a certain patient. The main corridor is dark and strangely empty. You spot a nurse at the registration booth. She's asleep from exhaustion. Let's sneak past. Dexterity, success. You've managed to sneak past her and rummage through the cabinet. Finally, you locate the information you were looking for. +10 experience. And then another one. A filthy girl in a patient gown walks along the ceiling towards you. Why is everyone standing the wrong way? It's so much better where I am. Join me. You begin floating. Stand downside up. You contort yourself to match the girl's perspective. You are overwhelmed by a wave of vertigo as you get lost in an empty room. Which way is really up? Have you been wrong your entire life? -2 reason. The Anatomical Museum Archive displays a specimen with elongated arms and jellified bones. -1 reason. Okay, now back to the apartment. You knock on your friend's door and wait. Hey, I'm really busy today. Let's hang out some other time, okay? A woman bumps into you as she runs from a beauty parlor. Before you can say anything, you notice her face. She's carved out her own eyes. Oh, hey. Hey, Jeethko. Hang on. Thanks for the tip. Let me adjust my sound. Is this better? Maybe this? Notice the odd placement of ventilation shaft. They seem too small for anyone to crawl through, though. Further, the events you've witnessed lately have you tossing and turning, unable to sleep. You feel restless. Finding an appropriate trap proves to be more hassle than it was worth. You end up losing daylight after struggling for hours. Ah, a bit too quiet now. Okay, let's try... Is this better? Ah, not damaging anymore, so good. +2 Doom. Resolve the event. You should interview the neighbors. Maybe you'll discover something the police missed. Alright. So, sounded good now. Passing by a faulty elevator. Its doors suddenly open. You take a step back, noticing a weird tall woman standing in the darkness. Do you live here? I've never seen you. Cyclops' neighbor. Okay, let's do that. Cyclops' neighbor punches you in the face. And again. You've defeated Cyclops' neighbor. One neighbor is complaining about her missing underwear. Mr. The neighbor is a horror manga artist. He's struggling to come up with a satisfying ending for his newest story. What's that picture? You catch a glimpse of the painted thing. Suddenly, you feel very weak and excuse yourself to leave. Something truly evil has you in its grasp. Something happened here. Another neighbor is complaining about weird noises coming from the vents when she's at home. Someone has spray painted all surfaces of an elevator. Black lines don't seem to make any reasonable shape. The elevator itself appears to be working just fine. Something about the art makes you feel uneasy. Let's take the elevator. You close your eyes, and when you open them, you arrive at your destination. Plus one reason. Let's check the building plan to find out if there is a place where all the vents connect. Aggressive passerby. As you inspect a marking on a wall, a random man shouts at you, hurling insults at you and requesting a fight. He appears to be delirious, probably under the effects of some kind of drug. Charisma check. Success. Despite his altered state, the man hears you out as you calmly explain you just want to pass through. He takes a step to the side, although reluctantly. -2 Doom. Every room is connected by vents coming from the unused boiler. Could it be? You enter the dark boiler room and trip over the pipe. Forcing, you find a light switch and gasp in horror. It's not a pipe at all. It's a long, rubbery arm coiling around the room and ending in a ventilation shaft. Coming closer, you can smell something vile and rotten. You almost fall to the ground when you see the wide-open stare of the dead pervert. his elongated limbs stretching and disappearing into the vent's darkness. Inside his mouth you find a tiny key. After the police arrive, the whole building gets searched. Following the arms, the detectives find the body of a man stuck in a ventilation shaft. Later, he is identified as the building caretaker. In his closet, police find pieces of underwear and voyeuristic photos of the tenants. You are questioned thoroughly and eventually released as the murder case is being covered up as a case of an unfortunate gas leak. Alarming account of abnormal arms, ending A. Knowledge is key, plus 30. Experience. Thorough investigation, 15 experience. There's still hope, minus 5 doom. Tireless, plus 1 reason and stamina. 1 day passes. The old god stirs. Price hike. Preparing for the worst. People are stocking up on everything, making it harder for you to find what you want. All shop items cost 1 funds more. Inside your mailbox, you find a small key. What is it doing there? Okay, let's do storage. Grab a bottle. Let's store the forest note. Don't have any more use for it. Okay, the tiny key can be used to open certain locks. It seems important. It's listed as important. Not sure what to do with it. I think there's some weird RNG-tied subplot that needs it. Demolition of an old inner-city shrine has resulted in an array of unfortunate accidents, and most recently the death of 6 people suspected of arson. Again. Okay, take a bath. Okay. Get some water. Shower will help you calm down and do wonders for your sore muscles. What temperature should you set it to? Let's see, could use some more stamina this time. Oh, no, we're close to dinging on experience. Okay, next stop. Let's do the Vicious Verses of a Violent Vigil. You've received an official working letter. What does a law firm from Tokyo want from you? We regret to inform you of the passing of your client and your grand-uncle. His funeral will be preceded by an overnight vigil as per the client's request. There's an address and a list of people expected to arrive. You don't recognize any of the names. Intrigued, you decide to check it out yourself. What's the worst thing that could happen? The worst thing is that you could ask that, of course. Following the directions from the letter, you slowly fight your way through the overgrown forest path. The old mansion looks like it was torn down and rebuilt many times, but where is everybody? Explore mansion action will unlock new locations and progress this mystery. In the mirror, you catch a glimpse of something that shouldn't be there. To Doom. Takes some time, but finally, you manage to find someone. Is that another guest? You should ask them what's going on in here. 4 actions on the right allow you to investigate the location and interact with it. Young woman wrinkles her nose when she notices you. You can swear you've seen the symbol engraved on her necklace before. If you want to pay respect to that old creep, follow the corridor to the right. 9 p.m. 8 hours until dawn. Coin flip of fate. You discover a large rotting trunk covered in rusted chains. As you approach, the bonds break and a large sandstone disc catapults out, covered in hieroglyphics. It seems to be seeking you out. Okay, heads or tails? Let's say tails. Walk, failure. With a crash, the disc lands tails side up. You are filled with calm and certainty. Pressing a handkerchief to your nose, you enter the dark room. There's no way they allowed your granduncle to just lie here. What was the correct bow and clap order? Maybe the other guests will know? As you return to the corridor, you notice another family member has arrived. You notice all the guests are studying small cards. You should ask them about it. Hawado, weird fiction writer. A pair is standing next to a window. The man is muttering something to himself, while his wife is observing you with her unnaturally bulgy eyes. You didn't get this with a letter? Here, take mine. Vigil pamphlet. 10 p.m. Pray over the body. Clap, 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 bow. 12 a.m. Pray over the body. Bow, bow, clap, clap. 1 a.m. 2 a.m. Burn an envelope found in the study. 3 a.m. Cover the mirror in the storage room. 5 a.m. End of the vigil. Okay, it's 10 p.m., so the master bedroom. Vigil pamphlet says, clap, 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 bow. What's this? Inspect his foot. There's a weird symbol tattooed on the man's toe. You copy it onto your pamphlet. See, not sure what that one means. Okay, it was. Clap, 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 bow. Clap, clap, bow. And his foot just moved. This reminds me of one of my books. Let's not pretend like we want to be here. You think you got the order right. Hearing a shuffling sound coming from behind a wardrobe, you decide to push it out of the way. You discover a niche in the wall. Someone has put 3 dusty dolls in there. When you try to reach and grab one, however, they jump off and scatter around the room, giggling. Oh, you know what? I'd say discretion is the better part of valor here. You successfully run from Puppet Matron. Let's have a drink. Every family member is cautiously eyeing the smelly dishes placed on a table in the corner of the room. Guests seem strangely uninterested in this vigil. You should explore more and learn what you can. Strength check. Passed. Smells nauseating, but you put some meat on your plate. One item. Which I don't have space for, apparently. Long pig steak. Probably best not to eat that. Storage room. You shudder instantly, recognizing the room from a newspaper photo. 3 years ago, a man hanged himself here. Why is a vigil being held in a place like this? Let's see here. How about clap clap? Let's see what that does. Did you get the order right? Venetian Society. That pair has been following you since morning. You finally managed to lose them, but can't shake the feeling that it will only get worse. -2 stamina. It's midnight. You should go and pray. Seems that someone has already removed all the furniture from the overgrown study. The overgrown plant is casting an unsettling shadow. Nothing has changed in the storage room. Nothing has changed in the corridor. The body. It's missing. Where is everybody? Cadaver Theater. Corpses are strung up on wire, like macabre marionettes, with painted smiles and rosy cheeks. -2 reason. You manage to find one of the guests. They are shaken but otherwise safe. You both decide to get the hell out of this place, but the door is gone. Pillar of Doom. The whole building begins to shake as you enter the room. Suddenly, a stone pillar bursts through the floor where you stood just seconds ago. Noticing the arcane symbols painted on the stone, you take a step closer. This does not sound good. Let's retreat from the room. You leave the strange room as the stone slowly disappears underground. -1 reason. Corridors twist and turn, trapping you in this mansion. You think you can hear the other guests somewhere, but should you risk getting lost yourself? Okay, in the study. In the envelope. You open the envelope. Your mind gets flooded with knowledge. It was a good decision, right? Gained a spell. No room for it, so I guess we gain experience as consolation. Leadership. +1 charisma. Outdoorsman, +1 luck. Or Arcane Grasp, 2 additional spell slots. Could use some more luck and some more reason. Agents of Goizo. You try to avoid mirrors, afraid of what could be waiting for you on the other side. -1 reason. What went wrong? Hawako and Miyako finally fused together. The sight of the writhing pair drives you mad, taking reason damage. You've defeated Hawado and Miyako. As the vigil is nearing its end, the whole mansion shakes more and more until the walls start to collapse, revealing the shocking truth about your whereabouts. The walls of the corridor collapse, revealing an alien landscape. You can taste blood in your mouth as the slimy appendages slowly get closer. A voice in your head tells you what to do. Where are you? Can't explore. Where am I? Nothing to do except sacrifice the guest. An unseen force leads your hand. You reach for a knife and stab a surprised guest. Conclude the ritual. Death cheated. The price is paid. A voice booms in your head as everything gets dark. When you wake up, you find yourself lying on the wet grass, the old mansion nowhere to be seen. Standing next to you is a naked, bloated old man. You recognize a tattoo on the man's toe. It's your deceased granduncle. With a coarse voice, he explains the ritual. You try to keep up with him, but you're weak and your head spins. The death toll must remain the same. To die and to survive. You feel like vomiting as the old man who has cheated death disappears behind trees. Everything gets dark. The man who you thought was your uncle has cheated death, making you an accessory to murder. You know the police officers won't believe you when you tell them the truth, and do your best to forget the nightmares you left behind. Vicious version of a violent vigil. Ending C. Knowledge is key, 30 experience. Thorough investigation, 15 experience. There's still hope, -5 doom. Tireless, +1 reason and stamina. 1 day has passed. The old god stirs. Heart of darkness. The imposing shadow cast by the old lighthouse is getting longer each day. Lighthouse gets 1 additional floor. Okay. Let's see, Clover Heart, hand, something, diamond, Jupiter. Inside your mailbox, you find a small key. What is it doing there? Take the key. Back in your home, you think of your next move. You are not currently investigating any weird mystery. Some of our readers report a strange tall man dressed in white taking the metro after dark, apparently stalking lone passengers. Please take care and avoid traveling alone. Shower will help you calm down and do wonders for your sore muscles. Okay, we're doing decent for stamina and reason. You don't see anything weird. Oh right, forgot to refill the bottle. Oh well. Okay, now all we have left is Chilling Chronicle of a Crimson Cape. A new game is spreading among your friends. A dare to stay in the unused school restroom after classes. A dare to meet Akamanto. What was originally harmless fun has turned deadly. The body of a boy was found last week. The school principal has banned the game, but that's only made it more popular. Akamanto must be stopped before another kid is killed. One of your friends says he doesn't believe in curses, and he intends to complete this dangerous dare. Gather gossip about the current mystery. Not sure what I can do for that. I would need to be able to gather allies from school for that, actually. Investigate the school. Suddenly, everything slows to a crawl. Time Warper. Reality shifts, your action was cancelled. Time freezes, your action was cancelled. Reality shifts, your action was cancelled. The Warper steals some of your lifespan. Okay, I don't know what it's doing. I don't know how to fight that. Don't have any answer to what he can do. If he can just cancel what I'm doing. No, I think I hit him once. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, regular attacks seem to work. You've reported it to your principal, who promises he will take care of it. Isn't this character 20? With your friend safe for now, you should look into the legend. Maybe records in the city's library make mention of Akamanto. While heading down the street, you can hear a faint sobbing sound coming from an alley nearby. There, you approach a man on his knees. When you take a step closer, he suddenly stops and perks up. You can hear the nauseating sound of tearing skin. Yeah, let's save that one, load it. You read a story about a vengeful samurai known for wearing a crimson-red cape. It's an interesting find for sure, but you need to find more information. You find an old trophy case set in a seemingly abandoned corridor. Everything inside is covered in a thick layer of dust. One medal seems particularly valuable. Okay, what do we have? Folklore studies adds knowledge. Arcane grasp adds spell slots. Leadership adds charisma. Let's boost stamina. Let's open the cabinet. Using a key you find, you open the trophy case and take an odd golden goblet without a plaque. Gained an item. One of the articles mentions a young doctor who performed life-saving surgery on a victim of a brutal assault. The assault happened in a toilet stall. Maybe he still works at the hospital and can share some information. Walking through the unused hospital floor, you discover something alarming. The door to a small empty room looks like it was forced open. The lock is completely broken. You look around before taking a closer look. What happened here? Knowledge, success. It seemed like someone forced the door open with a crowbar or similar tool. Telling yourself they probably just lost the keys and needed something from inside the room, you quickly leave the corridor. 5 experience. You learn that the doctor suddenly left the hospital after the latest murder, taking all of the records with him. Why would he do that? That's not the only bad news. Your friend didn't come to school today, and another body has supposedly been found. With the trail growing cold, it might be time for a different approach. Could a similar case have happened in the past? A trip to the library might be a good idea. Knowledge check. Failure. It was a complete waste of time. You spent the whole day reading about cute dogs, giant vegetables, and the occasional accident. You find nothing related to the case at hand. Principal has ordered for the school to be closed down for the investigation. The roads seem to twist and turn when you're not looking, trapping you in this neighborhood. Yep. Let's see. Could get lost. Actually, you know what? Let's use this one. Lost in time and space, you drift in nothingness until something pulls you towards the light. Parasitic stars looming over the dying civilization. Is this the fate of our planet as well? Enter the destroyed temple. Inside a decaying nave, you find a keepsake from the ancient world. There's a humanoid skeleton wearing ruined armor. Its weapon looks strangely familiar. Katana. Yeah, let's equip that. That seems better than a steak knife, doesn't it? You break the window and get inside the school unnoticed. The cursed toilet is located on the 3rd floor. Get over there. Despite your best efforts, you feel like the neighborhood is starting to change. Location's threat level increases. There is no turning back now. You step into the last stall and close the door behind you. Investigate the cursed toilet. Legend. Alive. You wait in the stall, trying to be as quiet as possible. Suddenly, you hear the sound of rubber boots as an unknown liquid drips on the tiles. You can see the top of his head. He's taller than any man you've ever seen. The door slowly opens. The tall man in a red coat grabs you by your neck and starts choking you. You kick him and rush to the door. You hear a click coming from the door's direction. You're locked in here with this crazy man. Okay, the katana is slow. You can get one hard swing or two soft swings. And one of those soft swings can be double boosted. Akamanto is choking you. Defeated Akamanto. Blood flowing from wounds in the tall man's red coat makes it look like the man is slowly melting. You hear crackling coming from behind the mask and faint. And when you wake up, he's gone. Somehow you know he will be back in another stall, another school, another city, continuing the horror. Chilling Chronicle of a Crimson Cape, ending B. You left something behind, the crestfallen mask. Knowledge is key, 30 experience. There's still hope, -5 doom. Tireless, 1 reason and stamina. 1 day passes. The old god stirs. Contaminated water. There's something wrong with the tap water. It is black and oily and glistening, smelling like death. You hope it's just a temporary issue. Inside your mailbox, you find a small key. Yeah, contaminated water prevents regaining health between mysteries. Okay, the Crestfallen Mask equips the Trinket slot. Armor, Eldritch, reducing Doom. May as well. Who am I? They still didn't fix the water problem. It's black and oily and glistening. No way you're going to wash yourself in that. And I don't have any bottled water. Someone is standing in the shadow, watching your door. Okay, what's this? Ah, back out here. The ominous lighthouse has been closed down for longer than you can remember. Here we go, the final confrontation. Open padlock A. Padlock B. Padlock C. Padlock D. Now we can enter. You finally made it inside the cursed lighthouse. Your gut is telling you two things. That whoever or whatever is behind the weird events must be on the highest floor of this place, and that you should run away from this place as far and fast as you can. You're afraid there won't be a way back once you start climbing these stairs. Okay, do we have anything in storage that would be useful? One pig's steak. Smells delicious. No, not yet. May as well grab a spare bottle, though. No reason not to. Okay, we have enough Doom that we can rest for quite a bit. Yeah, I'll say that's enough. Start climbing. Climbing up the winding staircase, you are stopped by a masked man wearing an expensive suit. "Rules have changed, kiddo," he says, taking the jacket and the mask off. "Nothing personal, really." Takashi-san, the ultimate opportunist. He adds Doom. How long can he hold out against us, I wonder? Takashi-san stops you and prevents you from taking another step. Following the winding staircase, you are stopped. Wait a minute. Someone broke into your apartment, stole all the clues and newspaper clippings, and pinned them here. The more you study them, you discover you can't remember any of them, except one. Select the title of the second mystery you investigated. Pretty sure that was Abnormal Arms. You rip the newspaper clipping of the case you seem to remember. Underneath it is a tiny button. You press it and, with a buzz, the gate opens. Following the winding staircase, you find a metal gate that blocks your way. Cable that should be powering it is currently disconnected. The power box itself is covered in a weird moist goo. Just inhaling the fumes makes your eyes itch and water, but to power the gate you'll need to disconnect a faulty plug. Strength failure. You're surprised at how much effort it takes to disconnect the faulty plug. As you force it, the weird goo burns your fingers. Finally, you manage to separate the faulty plug and connect the proper cable. With a buzz, the gate opens. -3 stamina. Following the winding staircase, you are stopped by a metal gate. The tiny page nailed to the gate explains that opening the gate will require you to grab 2 metal rods. Using your own body as a natural conductor, you will power up the gate. Knowledge passed. You are about to grab the rods when you notice the dials and buttons. You toy with them for a bit before adjusting both the voltage and current so it's safe for you to grab them. With a buzz, the gate opens. Continue. Conspirant, delinquent girl. Oh, we can get another level. Okay, some quick thinking, dexterity, self-therapy, forgetting spells gains extra reason, folklore studies, +1 knowledge. Let's do charisma. Need it right now. You are stopped by a girl wearing a dirty black school uniform. I'm sorry, but I can't let you go any further, she says, reaching for her bag. It's too late anyway. You instinctively take a step back when you notice a knife in her hand. You have to think fast. Try to reason with her. You try to talk her into allowing you to pass. It's too late anyway, he whispers again, letting you continue. The delinquent girl nods sadly as you pass her. Following the winding staircase, you find a metal gate that blocks your way. It's locked, but you notice an electrical cable. It seems to connect the door to a hole inside the central pillar. If there's a switch inside, you'll have to risk getting cut by the numerous glass shards and knives. Not enough dexterity. You can feel the sharp glass ripping your flesh as you search for the switch. Finally, you grab a cable and follow it with your bleeding fingers until you find the button. With a buzz, the gate opens. -3 stamina. The dark clouds swirl around the lighthouse. Did you arrive too late? As the unnatural fog slowly lifts, you are relieved and collapse on the floor. The next day, everything feels like a bad dream. You've managed to stop the ritual awakening the eldritch old god, but what's done is done. You will stir in its slumber again and again, until the stars are right once more. Congratulations, you are safe. For now, and that's us right here. Congratulations, you've survived. Level 5, difficulty, Skeptic. Equipped katana, flashlight, crestfallen mask. Backstory, hunted by the cult. Summoned old god, Goizo. Incoming doom, 65%. Chosen timeline, A. Additional actions, manual. Your playthrough lasted 98 minutes, 17 seconds. In this run, you've managed to solve 4 mysteries plaguing this town. You saw 4 new events. You encountered 8 new enemies. You unlocked 2 new achievements. The game has been World of Horror, and I have been James. If you liked it, go ahead and subscribe to see more of it. Thank you.